Hey guys, it's your good buddy Carl. Just doing a couple of quick points. I'm going to call them quick shots, patent pending, copyright pending, whatever. So, couple of quick things that I wanted to go over. First off, hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. I'm glad to see that we didn't have a civil war start on the 20th. That's a good thing. If you haven't seen my video on YouTube, please go find Gray Matters on YouTube. Title is America on the Brink. It's a scary video, but it gets the message across. And if you think there are still people out there who need to hear that message, I highly encourage you to go and take that video and share it to with your friends. It's on the Gray Matters page here. I'm sure if you scroll down, actually it's pinned to the top of the Gray Matters page. So if you go there, you can click on the video and share it. So a couple quick points. So there's been a bunch of stuff in the news. Biden is on an executive order flurry, which I figured as much he would be. Trump did the same thing. Obama did the same thing. Bush did the same thing. Before we get into that's actually kind of a side point. It's actually not what I want to talk about. But before we get into that, just a side note, something to think about for future reference, and we'll probably get into this on a future show. I got a bunch of things in the works right now. But future show, do we need to limit the power of executive orders? I think we do. I think we should have after Obama. I think we probably should have after Bush. But they've been getting more bold. Actually, not. If you look at the numbers, FDR signed 3,700 some odd executive orders. But the average for modern presidents is about 200. That varies up and down depending on. We're using the wrong microphone. Oh, hang on. That varies up and down depending on the. Well, as long as you're getting audio, that's all that matters. Uh, it varies up and down depending on the president, obviously. Some have done like 150, some have done like 250. Trump, I think, did 240, I think is where he was at, where he ended right about there. And you know, Biden's into like a weekend, and he's already burned through 40 or 50 executive orders. So yeah, but it's not just so much how many orders that are getting signed. It's 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 the reach of those orders. Trump definitely overreached with some of those orders. Obama overreached with some of those orders, and Biden is overreaching, I think, with some of those orders. So that needs to be a question that comes up in Congress with the power of executive order. I think we should. We'll talk more about that in a future day. Another thing, we're getting caught up. I see a bunch of headlines floating around out there. I'm going to point to one as an example that on topics that we keep getting sidetracked with. One being Biden is planning to move forward on putting Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. So I'm going to give you my take on this. I don't care who's on the $20 bill. I don't care who's on the $20 bill. I think it's great that they put Harriet Tubman on there. She's an American hero. And for all my friends out there who are hung up on the idea that it should be a founding father, you know, it's irrelevant. That's my point here. I mean, I'm not knocking it. I'm not saying it doesn't matter. I mean, good for black people out there. But it's not something I'm concerned with. I don't care who's on the $20 bill. All I care is that my $20 bill will get me $20 worth of stuff, and that the amount of stuff I can get with the $20 bill preferably becomes greater. Hopefully, my dollar will be worth more, and I can buy more. Um, that is my concern with the $20 bill. I don't care whose face is on it. I mean, you put Toucan Sam on there. It's okay by me, as long as it's hard to counterfeit and its value is protected. See, that's the key thing. The value of the $20 bill is the important thing. And the more money we're spending on deficit spending and on the national debt, we the more look. I know we need bailout packages and blah 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 blah. We got to help the American people. Need stimulus. Look, man, all these stimulus bills come from some are bills. They're bills we're writing. I don't mean like laws. I mean like they're like bills, like a light bill, like a gas bill. These are bills we are running up. We are going to have to pay for those. These are loans to ourselves. That's what these things are. That's what people don't understand about these stimulus. All the deficit. You know who most of that debt is owed to? And the $27 trillion we currently owe, Biden is proposing another $2 trillion on this next stimulus package, and I guarantee before he's done, he'll probably tack on another $10 trillion by the end of his presidency, a first term. If he gets it, that's assuming he might get a second. If Kamala doesn't kneecap him, and if Kamala doesn't kneecap him and pull a Nancy Kerrigan on him or Tanya Harding, however you want to look at it. But anyway, point being is, yeah, so, uh, yeah, I don't care who's on the $20 bill. We need to be more concerned about the value of the $20 bill and how much money our government is spending. Government spending is a massive issue, and it does affect you. You know, Republicans like to talk about cutting taxes, but the thing is, the more we spend, the more we have to tax. And that includes the rich people and the poor people. Someone did the math. You can go look it up online. But if we took every single penny from every single rich person, we took their entire net worth of every rich person in the United States, we wouldn't even touch the national deficit. And like I said, of that national deficit, the vast majority of it is owed to us. We don't owe it to China. Yes, we owe China money. Yes, we owe other countries money. Yes, our national debt we owe other countries. But we actually owe the majority of it to ourselves. We're loaning ourselves money mostly, than more than the other countries are loaning us money, and that is a big issue, and we must deal with that. That needs to be. Trump should have dealt with that. He didn't, and you know he that was one thing he failed on miserably. That really upset me. And then you know when COVID hit, he kind of got painted into a corner. He had to add a big massive chunk to it, and that's not cool. But point being, small issues like who's on the $20 bill, we need to not even argue about that. Who cares who's on the $20 bill? The value of the $20 bill is more important. We need to be talking about those things. Um, Here's one thing. I'm not going to get into it, but I'm going to point this out. Biden signed a bill talking about racial equity, um, and I want you to pay attention to that word. One of the biggest tools or weapons, you might want to say, that people on both sides use, Democrats are much, much better at it, are using is using language as a weapon. And now I'm all for but equality and equity are two different things. While I believe there should be some equity involved in the conversation, be very mindful of the Democrats using that word right now, equity. That is a very important word you need to pay attention to. Uh, I mean, on some levels, I'm with it, but on others, it can mean a lot of different things that can be very not cool for a lot of people. So yeah, be mindful of the language. That's where the Democrats get people, is on the language. Republicans have yet to catch up to that. That is their downfall. Uh, there's a lot of things that are the Republicans' downfall, but that's just one of them. Okay, the GameStop thing. We're going to talk about that for just a quick second. Look, man, uh, I don't think any laws need to be changed. I don't. I think I think that what is happening right now is probably going to grow, and I think it's going to become a much bigger issue. And maybe as it grows, there may need to be some discussion about laws and regulations on such situation. But the fact of the matter is, what's happening with the GameStop thing is what is supposed to happen with the stock market. Now, these hedge fund guys and all these Wall Street guys, for years we've been and I'm not the hugest fan of Dan Bongino, but he did a great little piece on this, and it's relatively fair and balanced. It doesn't really bash the Republicans or Democrats or anything like that, and I appreciate that. But Dan Bongino, I posted it to the Gray Matters page. You should go there and look at it. It's only a couple of minutes long, but he does a great little bit about this very specific subject. And I'm going to say some of the same things he said. I don't care that the hedge fund guys are getting taking a bath. I don't care. I don't care. The hedge fund guys are losing money. The stock market has always been a casino. It always has. It is a gamble. It is a risk. It's people betting on how companies are going to do. Now, forever and ever and ever, especially pre-internet, stock market guys, the Wall Street guys, the investor guys, they had all the real info. So it was imperative to trust somebody who knew what they were talking about. But since the advent of the internet, the little guy has a lot more information and also has a lot more sway. And somebody's figured out that they can go online and start a little movement, so to speak, of investors, and they can shift an entire stock. Now, what's this going to mean for GameStop in the long run? I don't know. I don't know. I know they just shut down like 800 stores. I know that they were on the verge of bankruptcy. They were just about to go the way of Blockbuster, because their market is shifting and changing. So that has a lot to do with video game companies changing to downloadables, so you don't have to go and buy a physical CD anymore. You can just download the game right to your consoles or your PCs. So that's cutting out places like GameStop. So they're going to need to change their business model to adapt, and that's just going to be the case. But hopefully they can benefit from all this flush of investment capital and do something grand and revive their entire business, because they're on the verge of going out. So GameStop, I hope you can take advantage of this. But the reality of the situation is, now, both two sides of the same coin. Reality is, this is a stock run up, and it's a manufactured thing. Now, the trick is, will the stock crash? Will people start going, hey, I've made enough, I'm going to dump my stock and cash out? Checka, checka, checka. Well, that happens, stock prices are going to plummet again. And the amount of money in the stock, it has a lot to do with how much money the company has to spend on things. So, I'm going to actually call a friend of mine. He's an investment guy. He's going to give me a lot more info. I'm actually going to try to convince him to come on the show and help talk to us about financial matters. I'm going to try to make him the Gray Matters financial guy if I can. But hopefully I'll talk to him in a few minutes. But that being said, I don't care that right now I'm not terribly concerned about the stock market thing. I'm not. I think it'll pan out. I think it'll work out. And stock market guys will change their algorithms and change their investment strategies, and they will adapt. And then your mutual fund guys will adapt, and your retirement funds will adapt, and you'll probably all be okay. And if you're trying to get in now, you're probably a little late to the game, but hey, maybe you should start paying a little closer attention. Call your investment guy, call your financial advisor, like, hey, where can I get more knowledge on this subject? That's what I'm about to talk to my guy about. That's exactly what I'm about to ask him about, because I have some stock market knowledge, and it's stock market knowledge changes a little bit as time goes on. Things adapt, and like I said, stock market market adapts to the changing circumstances. So your investment strategies have to adapt with it. So my strategies are a little outdated. So I need to get a little up to date, and that's what I'm going to talk to my man about here in a little while. I'm not going to name him until I get his okay to talk about it. So that being said, so guys, there's a couple of quick points. Hope it didn't take too long there, but nonetheless, guys, have a good weekend, and stop sweating over the small stuff. Who cares on the $20 bill? Who cares? Let's talk about the big things. $27 trillion in debt. That's the big thing. I'll talk to you guys later. I'm out of here. Bye.